Peace, peace, y'all. All right, so yesterday I did not do the Hump Day reading. My bad. But I am here now. So we can be present, and that's fun. We love being present, right? Yay, yay, being present. Gang, gang. So being present. This is my first time going live on TikTok. So yay, we're live on TikTok. And this is my first time. Maybe this is my second time going live with my Oracle deck. So that's fun. I really like this Oracle deck because it's a combination of like the herbs with astrology, and then you get the Oracle reading, and it's a great time. So how'd you guys do for the month of two? If you guys, were very much tapped in, you would have noticed that in the month of two, which is February, this month, we is all about focusing on the OBA scales, right? And the OBA scales are to ensure that your heart is as light as a feather. And if your heart is not light as a feather, it gets eaten. So in this space and time, it's all about focusing on your heart chakra through all these different experiences you've experienced through the month of two, and seeing what experiences made your heart as light as a feather and what experiences made your heart callous, and being able to reflect on those two experience, those spectrums of experiences and things like that, having a better awareness of yourself. If you guys were tapped into my daily mathematics today, I spoke on how all the numbers of today ultimately add up to the number 3. So pretty much today we're pre-gaming for the month of 3, which starts tomorrow. Happy holy day in advance to all my Moors out there. So in this day of 3, it's like you want to go back, you want to look at your emotional self. 3 deals with your creative energy, it deals with your emotional self, it deals with how passionate you are about things, how about things. So this is a great day to use that Sankofa vibe of looking back on the month or two. Let's look back at February, and when you get into numerology, you'll notice that astrology is also aligned. So peace, peace. Welcome everybody that came in and is sitting in chat. And if you would like a reading, if you would like a personal card pull for you today, go ahead and put your name in the chat. I see you guys' names that put in the comments and everything. And I will pull a card for you. In the meantime, at the same time, I'm talking about numbers and stars and chakras. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So the first couple weeks of February, we dealt with the moon being in conjunction with all of our personal planets. So we can get, let's look back on those days real quick. Let's time travel a little bit. So when we get into we start February 1st. We start with the Virgo. So it's cool. We're starting and ending with the Virgo moon, right? Start the month off with the moon and Spica in conjunction. Now, this is a star in the Virgo constellation that deals with harvest, materials, and gains. So on February 1st, you should have been utilizing everything that you learned during the month of January when we were focused on being a one, which is like being to self, learning how to be yourself amongst the collective, cardinal energy, taking initiative, being a leader, things of that nature, right? So now you're utilizing all that knowledge you've learned during the month of January, all the minimal angles and the transitions, etc., and you're bringing that into this month where we are in Aquarius Pisces energy, and you are learning how to say things with all your heart. So the first month, January, was all your mind. This month of 2, all your heart. Because when we go into March, now we're in 3s. Now we're in a space of creation, right? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's the Holy Trinity, right? So now we're in February in the month of 2. We started with Spica. Now we're being intentional about, okay, so during the month 1, I realize the things I want to focus on. I realize the things that mean the most to me, the things that speaking those things is the speak it together. It's like, hey, that's what you want. All right, we're gonna see how light your heart can stay through all these different challenges and experiences, energy exchanges, conversations, wisdom. Aries or not, but Aries deals with like Xena, the warrior princess. This is the primordial feminine energy. This is the rebellious energy. It's like a feminine Mars, Aries type vibe. So Aries being an Aries is like this asteroid is pretty much in its dwarf space. Oh, ooh, I'm doing stuff. My bad, y'all. Okay. I started getting like little things trying to tell me to, oh, you can do this, you can do that. Again, if you guys would like a personal card pull for you, feel free to put your name in the comments and I'll pull a card for you. So we have Aries now having new beginnings to the primordial feminine energy. So feminine energy can be in a man body or a woman body. Feminine energy is just your internal self, your intuitive self, your emotional self, your like self at your most comfortable space. The draconic chart, if you get into that astrological chart, that the draconic chart deals with setting the moon New Year's to Aries 0 degrees. The same way with the Vedic chart is setting the sun back to Aries 0 degrees. So when you get into the draconic chart, you're getting to the beginning of your soul's experiences. For those of you guys, I would highly suggest if you want to get into your past lives or what ejected you into this life or some type of chart correlation with your Rahu and Ketu, which is your north and south node, the direction you came from, the direction you're going into. I would get into your draconic chart so you can see like what's your soul contract, why are you here, what are you doing here, etc., etc. It's a fun time. And if you need assistance, I do read charts. I read number charts. I read your gematria. I take your astrological makeup and I put that into your chakras, whether it's your tropical, Vedic, or draconic chart. And I do it either natal, which is where the planets were the moment you were born, or I do it progressively, which is where the planets are for you now. Hold on. There we go. So that's what I do. All right. That comment wanted to be up there forever. So coming back to this, having the new beginnings on the primordial feminine energy. So your internal space, your home and family space, your soul experience, your space of comfort, all those things is yearning for new beginnings and taking that cardinal action step to experiencing those new beginnings. So kudos to all of you guys who was walking in that space with your divine feminine energy. With the Mercury being a Capricorn, Capricorn is a cardinal earth energy, and earth energy is the energy of manifestation. So now our throat chakra as a, but again, this comes back to what I was telling you. Make sure you did all your numbers in the month of 1, which was January, where we were pre-gaming for Aries season. The month of 2, which was this month, keeping your heart as light as a feather, because when you speak things into existence, you have to say it with all your mind and all your heart. And if you think about it, your brain has a pulse, right? It has a pulse, and it gives pulse to all the neurons in your body, which thus creates a frequency, right? Then you have a heart. Your heart has a pulse, which brings a frequency to the rest of your body. You have your veins, your arteries, and your neurons. These things go all over your body and give and receive messages. They also go outside of your body into your auric field as you're pumping out this frequency. So paying attention to your heart rate when you're in certain situations, paying attention to your heart when you're in certain moods and emotional things, pay attention to that. And that is the power of grounding too, because when you ground yourself, you're aligning your heart rate, your mind rate with the rate of nature, with the rate of the ground, the earth, the air around you, etc., etc. And this puts you at a space of homeostasis, which is always the goal to be at all the time, which is why meditation and intentional thoughts and detachment and having that safe space to bring yourself back to realign your frequencies is very, very important. So moving forward, that's Aries and Aries. So what else we experienced? The moon went into Scorpius by the 4th. And then Mercury entered Aquarius zodiac. So now, even though we have Mercury in the Capricorn constellation, that means in our happenings, experiences, when we use our throat chakra, is manifesting things, is getting things going, right? And the tropical in our thoughts, our words to us is, revolutionary. It's creating awareness. It's creating justice. It's a unique way of creativity and awareness of connections. So I could say, oh, I met this person. While I'm saying those things, the awareness is growing. what's happening in our actual vortex is the actual building. Peace, peace. This is my belated hump day reading. So if you guys want a reading, please put your name in the chat and I'll pull a card for you as I talk about the stars and the numbers. This is a February recap, making sure that you guys kept your heart as light as a feather throughout the month of February as we embark on this holy day on the first of the month, putting us in a space of creation, because 3 is the number of creation, right? So yeah, so Mercury is giving us that awareness in our tropical, but materializing things in the physical. So again, as always, be mindful, be careful, be aware of what you're expelling out of your throat chakra as a collective. Mars has entered the Capricorn constellation. So your motivation, what gets you going, what angers you, this is a good time. This happened on the 6th. So all this happened in the beginning of the month to put you in spaces to really pay attention. Can your heart stay as light as a feather? And I like that our throat chakra, as well as our solar plexus chakra, was in our root chakra, because our root chakra is where we put our boundaries and our discipline and order at. So while you were checking your heart for during these different events and energy exchanges and experiences and educational moments, you know, you were putting these experiences into your root chakra. I didn't like this, so this is a new boundary I have. I like that, so that's a new discipline that I have, and so on and so forth, if you pay attention. So if you didn't do that throughout the month, mind you, Mercury is still in those placements. Mars is still in those placements. You have time to focus on your root chakra today and pay attention and do the Senko for 5. In this moment right now, while we're doing this live, think about how your heart has been through the different events this past month. What events made your heart callous and what events made your heart light? You know what I mean? Let's talk about it. Feel free to comment in the comments. Let's talk through it or whatever. Let's talk about your root chakra placements. Where is your, what placements do you have in Aquarius and what placements do you have in Capricorn? Because then you'll see how the transit chart with those planetary placements have been invoking your personal placements. And then also paying attention to where your Saturn is. Ironically, the Saturn is actually conjunct the sun today. So we had Saturn type experiences today. The stars literally are aligning today for you to do the work that you probably, some of you guys didn't do all month because you guys weren't walking with this level of awareness all month, especially if y'all wasn't looking at my mathematics every day. But some of you guys didn't. But for those of you guys who have been doing the work, this is a great day to reflect, give yourself grace, pat yourself on the back, do some revising and editing. What is it that you want in your root chakra now? What situations, what boundaries, what discipline, and what order do you need in that space? And what level of social awareness do you need? Like, oh, when I'm in these certain kind of circles, I got to behave like this. And when I'm around these certain kind of people, I got to behave like that, because if I don't, you're going to make me mad. Now my heart is callous. Now the alligator eating my heart. It's a crazy time here. Or I need to be in more spaces like this, because when I'm here, my heart is as light as a feather. Sometimes it's lighter than a feather. And I'm having the different experiences I want to have. I need more of this, putting it in my root chakra. This is one of my resources to ground myself. This is one of my resources to give myself, you know, the solace that I need. You know what I mean? This is the resource that I want, and I want to create a cornerstone in my energy field with this resource. Like that. That's things that you guys are like to consider around. Kudos to you guys who have been doing the work. Vesta is finally prograde for us. So in this month, we really got to feel our passionate self moving at regular speed. So essentially what retrograde is, like in relation to the speed of Earth, a particular planet is moving on its own orbit so slow that in our skies, it appears to be moving backwards, but it's not really moving backwards. Sometimes what happens is, like, you know, in the water or the whatever, sometimes we go through certain spaces where the air is, you know, more condensed. Sometimes there's more traffic in that area, whatever. So it makes you drive, it makes our planet or dwarf planet or asteroid or whatever drive through that certain particular spot in their orbit a whole lot slower than they usually move in other parts of their orbit. I never thought about applying the scales to everyday socialization. I'm gonna have to start doing, oh yeah, I apply the scales to everything. You gotta apply the scales to everything, because that's how you really pay attention to, you know, reception and giving, especially for those of you guys out there who are not good at receiving. And I think that's a big disconnect in our community, is a lot of you guys don't think you deserve to receive. And when I speak to y'all, I'm speaking to myself. You want a community, but you don't know if you deserve a community yet, because you don't have money, or you don't have a house, or you don't have the degree, or you didn't get the car yet, or you didn't do this yet, or you didn't do that yet. But you always deserve a community. It's now being present. What kind of community do you need right now? Maybe you need that kind of community to bring you those resources that you need, so that you can, continue to grow with that community, and then add more people that are in elevated form that made you feel like, maybe I need to have these things first before I can get to those people. You know what I'm saying? So having that level of awareness also is good to look back on today as we talk about the OPA scales. OPA scales not only deal with your interpersonal relationships and your heart chakra and keeping your personal heart as light as a feather, but it also deals with bonds and contracts. I know a lot of you guys have been getting into the Straw Man Act, declaring your nationality, sovereignty. Some of you guys are resident aliens now. Some of you guys have, aligned with your lineage, your bloodline lineage, and you starting to, your tribe or whatever. I've seen certain things coming out with individuals declaring their tribes and things like that moving forward. And that's all beautiful. That's all in alignment with the OPA scales, or the Libra scales, which deals with justice, bonds, and contracts. So you getting in touch with, creating trust and creating bonds and learning about how the banks and the credit moves. And even on like the 3D level of living, you guys getting into doing your taxes around this time. Those are bonds and contracts. That's getting your justice. That's getting your return back to you for what you did all year. That's, again, OPA scales, Libra scales. Okay. So all that is in alignment with that. Moving on with Vesta moving in prograde, it's you guys feel that rising up in you. You feel your passion coming back towards the things that you love to do, the things you like to do. But be mindful that the winter, so we're still in winter time. We get into the spring solstice. We got a couple more weeks left before we get into the spring. But these last few weeks is a time to really just like do the last minute homework, do the last minute touches or whatever. As we enter this month of 3, we enter the spring equinox. This is the space of fertility. This is when the flowers start growing. And there's a lot of pain when the flowers start growing, right? Because, winter long, we know the roots, we're doing everything the roots need to do to keep its form during the winter soil, which gets very hard, which makes it very difficult to absorb the nutrients and the water and the stuff that the plants need. You are a plant. I know this winter was hard for you to absorb the nutrients and the minerals and everything you need to stand strong. And that's where like seasonal depression comes into play. People pull the hermit card on themselves and start withdrawing from people, or people with that same traumatic energy pull the hermit in reverse and kind of like, force themselves on other people, because they're yearning for those minerals and those vitamins, or yearning, whether on a physical level, because you're not getting as many sun rays and outside air as you was when it was nice and hot. You were outside all day, now it's cold and you just want to be indoors, or on an energetic level, an emotional level, a spiritual level. Everything goes to sleep in the wintertime. And if you're not moving in awareness, if you're not moving in enlightenment or encouragement, you could fall privy to that and go into spaces of mental ailments, mental dis-ease, emotional dis-ease, which is depression, and people go into their bipolar moments and the seasonal things that they get, and colds and flus and body aches, and now we got arthritis and all these different things. So that's in alignment with a plant. The roots is doing the most, trying to hold on, because the spring is coming. We know this is a cycle. We know this is a part of the cycle. We know this is a part of the cycle that we need, because everything that's not supposed to be with us in the next year is starting to fall away from us, right? The cold also gets rid of the flus and viruses and bacteria. The cold gets rid of the dead leaves and the dead branches and the dead flowers. The cold does all these things. It gets rid of all those things that no longer serve us, that can't go into this new spring season with us. So we give thanks to the things that are being removed and stripped from us, and we try to stand strong, because it's kind of like an antibiotic. It's not just killing the bad things, it's getting rid of everything. So you gotta, do your one too. Take your vitamins, do your breathing. Sometimes, placebo effect is real. So if you have to inhale and imagine a sunny day outside, and imagine yourself inhaling the vitamin D and the B plus and everything else that you need, you can do that. And you can imagine how it's affecting your body on the inside, and the different ligaments and the muscles and the tendons and the cells and the organelles and everything that is infiltrating and affecting. And it's big in it. Same thing you do when you eat your food. I hope that's how you're eating your food, intentionally saying, okay, you're going to do this to my body. This is where you got to go. This is what's happening. And if you're eating the kind of food that doesn't make you comfortable with doing that, most likely you're not eating the food that you're supposed to be eating. But yeah, all that, be intentional. And then I still go outside in the cold in the winter. I don't like it too much because y'all know I'm borderline anemic and I got this metal in my leg. But I do, make myself outside, because we've been dealing with the coronas outside since 2019. They've been giving off heavy, solar flares to us, and is resetting us. It's resetting our cosmic DNA. It's resetting our connection to the cosmos and things like that. So I do highly recommend, even though it's cold, go outside and ground yourself at least for 5 to 15 minutes. Breathe in, give thanks, move in gratitude, clear your heart, align your frequency with the frequency around you. Once you start seeing the insects come to you and land on you and stuff, you did your work. Your frequency is in alignment. Because now the insects can't tell you apart from the trees and the flowers and things. They think you one and the same because you're vibrating on the same frequency. And you carry that throughout your day. And that assists you, in these moments where you feel that depression or, those things creep in. You've been doing the work throughout the winter. So as we come into the spring, we give thanks to, the trees and the vegetation that's been holding it down all winter underneath the dirt and the darkness. We had to trust that the seed was doing what it was supposed to do in the dark. You know what I mean? So, given that trust, now we're getting the return of our trust. Now you're seeing the flower. We're going to start seeing the flowers bloom. We're going to smell the flowers. We're going to, experience the flowers in our air. And that give us different color frequencies, that give us different, we feed on that on an energetic level. Then the different, fruits that are growing in the summertime. I know we love us some summertime fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. So, we getting the return of that trust. And we also mirror those plants when it comes to the season. Kudos to you guys who have successfully followed through with the netters. I know the wintertime is the hardest for us all, because especially if you live in this rat race community, they expect you to flow like all year round is the 25th of July. But it's not. It's wintertime. It's not the middle of the summer. It's okay if you don't have the energy levels that you had back in June, July, September, October. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to be more tired. You're supposed to give yourself more rest. You're supposed to meditate more. You're supposed to, just lay around and be lax more. That's okay. You're not going to be building all year round. It's just not. It's not the way it works. It's okay. It's okay. And if you do it, you do burn yourself out. Did I burn myself a couple times? Yes, I did burn myself out a couple times. I had a couple of different, random things happen to me that I didn't expect to happen. And it pushed me to spiral into action, like it was the middle of the summer. Like, oh no, we got to solve this right now. And I did start to get the physical responses. I started to get migraines in the back of my. I haven't had migraines in my mind, on my head in years, because I, was doing better with giving myself grace. I had this migraine in the back of my head and in the back of my eyes that I have not felt in years. That's how bad I went. And then it got to the point where I started to have chest pains when I was breathing. And I had to, and having that level of awareness, instead of saying, oh, I'm gonna take an Advil, I'm gonna take a Tylenol, I'm gonna ignore it, whatever. I was just like, you know what? I know what this is. I did too much, and I have to take a break, and I have to, reassure myself, give myself grace, give myself gratitude for even wanting to pull the Wands card on myself so much to, try to fix this situation, and just take a deep breath. It is wintertime. It's cool. We got to chill. We can't keep moving forward in this. Now, the old me would have just took a Tylenol and kept pushing. But we're not doing that no more. We're keeping everything light. Light as a feather, moving ease, right? Some other things that we had happen in addition to Vesta movement prograde is the moon and Venus was in conjunction. So on the 7th, which is a beautiful day that it happened on the 7th. 7 deals with Yamoja, the third eye energy. That's feminine, nurturing energy. And that conjunction happened with Venus. So having that third eye energy had focal point on our heart. That was the first planetary conjunction. All the other conjunctions prior to that were the stars and the constellations. Now, this is our first planetary. So we're letting you know on 2/7/8, on the 7th day, on the Yamoja day of February of this Oba month, the moon and Venus were in conjunction. We wanted you to focus on your heart. This was the stars telling you, this is time to bring ease and nurturing to your heart chakra. This is what we want to focus on. This is what this month is about. Look at your heart now. Is your heart where you want it to be? In all situations. Libra scales or Oba scales, the number 2, deals with interpersonal relationships. So your relationship with this person and that person and this person and that person. Do you like the way your heart feels in all these interpersonal relationships? And if there's certain relationships that popped up in your head, like, I don't really like the way my heart feels in those situations, we need to rectify those. It's 8 o'clock. You got 4 hours. We need to rectify those. We need to lighten up your heart. It's probably a situation that's not that deep. It's probably a whole bunch of hypothetical situations you made up in your head to justify you not fixing the situation. You have to be real with yourself, be honest with yourself, be realistic with yourself, and give yourself grace, and give that person grace too, because I'm pretty sure you understand where they're at in their journey. And I'm pretty sure you understand that this person, place, thing, or situation is doing the best in their position that they're doing with their knowledge and their experience and their, spiritual self. So you having all this knowledge that you have, and then having knowledge of your own energy and where you're supposed to be at, light as a feather, universal love, okay? Give them grace. And you can give them grace with boundaries. That's why the root chakra was also in play this month, with a lot of placements being in Aquarius and Capricorn. So create a new boundary, create a new restriction there in your relationship that keeps your heart light, but also keeps the respecting. Okay. You need a balance of both. You deserve both. You shouldn't have to, have your heart calloused and heavy and your shoulders all over or up here and all these. You shouldn't have all that going on when you think about a person, place, thing, situation, or event, especially if a lot of your thoughts in regards to that are hypotheticals, like, oh, in the future, this is going to happen and you're going to do this. Hey, if you're talking about a whole bunch of shit that didn't happen yet, or a bunch of shit that happened in the past and you not being present, fix it. Fix it. Because if you're growing and learning and expanding yourself every day, why you can't give somebody else grace to do the same thing? Why do you want that other person to stay the same in their mess? Why you know the power of your throat chakra and your ability to speak things into existence, yet you still speaking on this person like they can't. You still speaking on stagnant energy on this person. You still speaking on lack of growth. Now, if you walk into their vortex, if you experience their vortex from afar or whatever, and you see no change, then that's what it is. I digress. I'll be quiet. Because I have had some experiences where it's like, I feel some type of way about this person. I want to feel different. But every time I'm in that vortex, I sense the same energy. It hasn't changed. So sometimes it's not so much as you speaking bad on somebody as much as the energy just hasn't changed. And with that, just give them grace. Your goal is to keep your heart a light feather, because you ain't responsible for nobody else's but your own. And when you mistreat yourself, negative thoughts is a form of mistreatment. You are majority water. Water holds memory. I'm sure all of y'all are very much in alignment with the science experiment they did when they were speaking on the water, and they were saying negative things and all these different things like that, and then bad things. And then they were looking at, the way the water crystallized and things. It looked crazy versus when they were speaking love and light into the water, and that crystallized, in a more like beautiful mosaic type fashion. It was less chaotic and disruptive looking. That's what you do to yourself, whether you're talking about somebody else or talking about yourself. And you might not feel the karma that you put on nobody else because you're not living in their reality. You don't know what karma that the universe already gave them without your help. But when you speaking on that and you making your heart way down, now you waking up in the morning with mucus in your throat, you got eye boogies in your eyes, you got a pimple on your face, your butt on your neck funny. You know, you go to the doctors, you get some crazy diagnosis on something. You get in your car breaks down. Like all these little nuances. Why? Because you speaking karma onto somebody else is also speaking karma into you. Because your body still hears that frequency and is internalizing it in itself. Listen to how your heart beats. Listen to how your frequencies flow. Pay attention to your blood pressure, the way your mind feels. Pay attention to your body when you speak certain things, when you speak on certain things. Pay attention to your body when you speak on certain things that upset you. I really want y'all to pay attention because I want y'all to master uncoiling those emotions. Okay? Pay attention to how your body, you know, feels and the frequency that it feels like it's on when you speak about things that you feel good about, especially with Vesta and Prograde here to support you. And when you speak on things that you feel passionate about, whether your passion is on I want to beat this motherfucker ass versus your passion on I want to give this motherfucker a hug. Like, pay attention to your frequencies in both forms, because you want to master. And today's the 29th, 2 and 9 add up to 11. That's a number of mastery. You want to master how you uncoil that energy when you're at your most passionate self and how you direct it. Like, okay, this is something that I've been trying to master this month. I give y'all a little insight. So people have been fucking with me. It's some people in my vortex that are upset because they're not a part of my reality the way they want to be. So they're doing little things to try to get my attention. They're doing little things to try to push me on my thing. Did it callous my heart? Yeah, it did. I was over here talking shit. But then I had to ask, I was going through the practice of every time I said some negative shit, I was like, oh, don't say that. Stop saying that. Cancel that, blah, blah, blah. And then I just got so much into the habit that I just stopped speaking bad on this person. And then I started to get a little insight about what these people, because it wasn't just one person, it's a couple of different people. I started getting insight on what they're going on in reality. And it softened my heart. Not because, oh, look at you getting a karma or whatever, but it's like, damn, you going through mad shit. That shit you did to me probably didn't have nothing to do with me for real. Look at what you going through. Like, I'm not even mad at you no more. Do your thing. Like, my love is universal, but you're still not going to get none of my attention. My boundaries are still the same. The relationship that we had once upon a time, that shit dead. We're not going back to that no more. You burnt that bridge and you was comfortable when you burnt it, regardless of what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not speaking ill on you no more. I ain't talking bad about you no more. When my friends call me, I ain't like, let me tell you about this motherfucker and that bullshit. And I ain't doing that no more. I done tricked my mind out of that. We ain't even there no more. You got that. You pushed me off the side of my, you pushed me out my orbit for a second. You had that for a second. And now on the 29th, on the day of mastery, I can say with my whole heart, my heart is as light as a feather for every something to me these past couple months. For everybody who did something to me this past year, I love you. I don't give a fuck. You not changing nothing over here. You ain't stopped nothing over here. You ain't stagnate nothing. You ain't take none of my blessings. You ain't push nothing. Because I'm keeping my heart light. You don't have no control over this vortex right here, baby. I do. And you got to move in that power. So when I was upset and I was angry and I was crying and I was outside, I let myself scream. You want to know why? Because when I was a little kid, I used to do the temper tantrum thing. And I want to stay in tune with my inner child. So if I got to scream some shit out, that's what the fuck I'm going to do. If I got to stop some shit out, and that's what my inner child, my inner baby, her little bratty self got to do, then that's what we going to do. Do I do that around other people to control them? No. This is something I do by myself in the dark like an adult. But yeah, I'm going to let her scream and shout. But then I started paying attention, the adult part of me, looking at inner child like, baby, we know better than this now. Go ahead and get that shit out. Now, moving forward, when you feel passionate like that, I never want to hear those words come out your mouth. Next time you feel so angry and passionate you want to scream, I want you to scream solutions. I want you to scream love. I want you to scream the outcome you actually want out of this and be intentional in that. So that's what I started doing. The last couple of temper tantrums I had, I've been like, bro, I just want to fucking love. I just want to homeschool my kids. I just want to live off grid. I just want this buzz. I just want these things. I deserve you. I want what I deserve. I deserve what I want. This is mine. It's for me. That's why it's in my vision. Like, and the tears rolling down my face, and I'm still at the same high emotional level as I would be if I was screaming the curses. But instead of that, I'm screaming blessings. I just want connectivity. I just want reciprocation. I just want to be overstood and understood and respected. And when you do that, them situations started turning around on me, baby. Situations started turning around. Niggas started getting real kind and nice. That's how easy it is. You ain't have to go to that person and get closure. You ain't have to have no confrontation. This ain't Zeus TV. This ain't fucking VH1. All you had to do was change your vortex. And that was the theme of this month. Let me tell you, if your vortex is still on some disdain, it could be about your job. It could be you going to work every day like, gotta go to the plantation. Gotta do this. Gotta do that. I had to download earlier, like, what are your goals? Where are they? Where are your goals? Where they at? And where are you at? And where do you, okay, so what's the distance between them and you? Let's pull out the map, Dora the Explorer, map, let's go. What do we got to get to that destination? What excuses are you making to tell you can't take these steps? How does that make your heart feel when you tell yourself? That's like when you was a kid in the backseat. We gonna keep going back to the inner child, because the inner child is the 5th house. 5 is Leo. That's heart too. That's heart too. So when you was in the back seat and you was like, Mom, can we go to McDonald's? I don't eat McDonald's no more, but I know that we used to eat, most of us used to eat McDonald's. Mom, can we go to McDonald's? And your mom was like, we ain't got McDonald's money. You got McDonald's money? First of all, you ain't have to say it like that. Okay? You could have kindly said no. But that's what you're doing to yourself. Oh, nah, we don't got gold money. We don't got dream money. We don't got aspiration money. we don't got that. We don't got inspired money. Do you got it? Because I don't got it. I gotta do this and then you wake up the next morning, your inner child fucking slumped, your outer adult fucking slumped. I hate beer. I gotta go to the plantation. I got nah. Why you speaking them spells on the way you about to spend the next 10 hours of your day? Why you speak them spells on that? If that's not what you like to do, then you need to go to the drawing board and you need to draw and then put a wand card to that shit and bring it to action. That's what this month of 2 is about. Because when we get into 3 tomorrow, that is the month of action. Tomorrow is 3-1. That's the cardinal day of action. 3-1 adds together makes 4. So tomorrow, how you spend tomorrow, the actions you put into tomorrow, what you doing tomorrow, that's creating a cornerstone for the rest of your month. So I'm begging you tomorrow, if not tonight, on this 2-9 day of mastery, that y'all embark on y'all dreams and y'all goals, and how your heart needs to be to open up the vortexes that you need to be opened up. Y'all don't realize how many people need to do XYZ for you to walk into your goals. It's not just you. You are not alone. You didn't meet the thousands of people that have to go through things for you to do what you're trying to do. So if your heart is not open, you're not opening the vortex to rooms that you didn't walk in yet. You're not speaking. You ever had those moments where you get a thought and you're like, damn. So this happens to me all the time. People open up their vortex to me all the time. Every time I call or text somebody, they be like, yo, I literally was just talking about you. Or I just had this thought in my head. Or I literally was just whatever. And I'm like, yeah, you opened up your vortex to me. I heard you. So I text you or I called you. What's up? I heard my name. That's how it is. It's somebody over in China that got to hear your intrusive thought. You got to speak what the fuck you want out of existence so somebody in India can hear you and they can be like, oh, okay, I got this great idea. I'm going to do this. And then they create a platform and then you find the platform and now you're building with this person over here. And then you done attracted that person over there and this person, a whole fucking thing. But because you won't open your throat chakra, you won't open your heart, you won't open your mouth, you ain't got no gold money, you ain't got no dream money, you would rather speak morning and management and weekend and weekday into your existence every day. You're speaking that into these other people too, whose vortex is open to hearing your sounds. So now they depressed over there because you depressed over here. You have a responsibility. It ain't just about you, baby. You got a responsibility to everybody out here that's open to your intrusive thoughts, to your intrusive words. Your sounds are intrusive to a lot of people out here that's waiting for your next idea so that they can get it going. I don't know if y'all into human design and stuff. I'm still in the process of perfecting my education on that level. But y'all know I'm into the Kabbalah, I'm into the Netters, and I will place my my astrology placements into those placements on myself. And so having that level of knowledge, which is somewhat of what human design is made up of, I have a lot of throat chakra placements. It's important for me to talk. And I will admit, and I will apologize to y'all, aside from my daily mathematics, I was slipping on my pen with these lies and things. And that's because I was going through what I was going through. My bad. But I'm here, y'all, on the day of 2/9. So I'm here right on time. But, you know, it's all full circle. You know, I don't tell y'all nothing that I'm not trying and exercising and practicing and growing and expanding in myself. As I grow, we grow. You know, I've never been the type to sit on my throne and look down on y'all and say, why y'all not doing that yet? Y'all suck. Like, we growing together. I love y'all, and I hope y'all love me back as we do this thing. But yeah, today is the day. Like, yo, walk into your shit and speak that shit into existence. If you can see it and you want it, it's because you deserve it. Because you're responding to another intrusive thought that was probably, you know, that vortex, open that vortex to you, and now it's been a part of your dream. It's a part of your yearning. It's a part of what inspires you. It's a part of what brings you joy. And that's probably a thought that was implanted by someone somewhere else or somewhere, and now it's in your dreams, and you done met with souls in your sleep and souls in your daydreams and in your meditations and stuff. And then as you start moving your physical body into this, you'll start to physically meet these people, and you'll be like, oh, you look familiar. Why am I so comfortable around you? Why do I suddenly feel the need to tell you all my business? Why do I want to work with you? Why do I need to get to know you? I usually don't ask people for their numbers, but I really want to keep in contact with you. I usually don't do this, but there's something about you that I just got to do this one thing with you or for you or around you or whatever. And that's because your energy already met that person. You opened up the vortex. And now, not only did you do the vortex, you did the manifesting. Manifest is festival of the hands. So you got to know that there's a separation between your physical and non-physical self, right? So when you have the thoughts, I'm sorry, I said I was going to pull cards. Y'all know it never worked that way. So I'm more of a downloader than I am a card puller. So when you have a thought, it all starts with the thought, right? Let there be light. So you are the thought. That's why they say you are God. You are the thought. You are inside of this vessel. This vessel is not you. This vessel is a vehicle you're using right now. So this whole time you're just watching your hands manifest things. You're watching your feet do the thing. You're watching your body. I'm watching my body do this. But it's my thoughts that's making it happen. It's the God in me, you know, whether it's the autonomous God or the God that's giving direct information. You know, you got the autonomous one where it's like breathe and blink and, you know, the things you don't think about. And then you got the ones that think about, the subconscious and the conscious. But that's where it starts. And then the physical responds. So if your thoughts is blah, 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 the physical is going to respond. So if your thoughts are on negative, 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 your physical is going to respond. If the thoughts are on I'm sick or I'm this, I'm that, your body is going to respond. Cars, downloads, either. Thank you. It is all the same. I appreciate you. But your body is going to respond. You guys are interconnected. You have an interconnected, interdependent relationship. But get out of this codependency with your body. The codependency with your body is what makes you move in fear, because now you got that human fear. Now you got that poverty mindset. Now you got that finite shit attached to an infinite entity. You are infinite inside of a finite body. You get what I'm saying? Your body is finite. You are not. So you need to be interdependent with the body and say, it's like when you buy a car. A car's lifespan is way shorter than mine, whether we're talking about my spirit or my physical body. I'm well aware that a car is not supposed to outlive me. A car is not supposed to live for, I already had the awareness from my mother, who went through cars like draws, that a car is not going to last me from the first time I get behind the wheel at 16 all the way up to what, like the women in my family lived to 100. My Aunt Eliza was driving up until she was like 96, 97. So like, you know, the women in my family go strong. I got some strong genes up here. So I don't expect a car to live them 80 something years with me. I expect the car to break down. I expect the car to need fixing sometimes until it gets to the point where it's just unfixable and I need another one. I expect that. I'm not speaking it into existence because I know my car can hear me. Ain't like, oh, let me get in my car today. No. This is my baby. We get it washed. We get the oil change. We get the tires changed. We get the tune up. We get the winterization. We get the summerization. We do all the things. I love this fucking car. This is my baby. Okay? I'm playing about my baby. But I know my baby is not going to outlive me. I'm not going to speak death into my baby. I'm always going to speak life. But when it happens, it happens. And guess what? I still need to get to where the fuck I got to go. So that means you're going to have to get replaced. Same shit with your body. Your body is a vehicle. Stop expecting your body to outlive you. Your body is not going to outlive you, baby. You're going to outlive that body. And it sounds crazy now because you still feel young. So you're like, what? I'm going to eat my sea moss and my shilajit and I'm going to do the yoga. Yeah, get the tune up, get the winterization, get the summerization, get your tires changed. Go ahead and get yourself some rims. Deck that motherfucker out. Get yourself some seat covers. Get the lights underneath the motherfucking hood. Do the whole thing. This is you. This is your vehicle. But stop expecting the vehicle to outlive you. It's not. You're going to outlive this vehicle. And it's going to get to the point where it's going to be like, dang, I really, really, really need a new vehicle. This one is just, I know I got all this family and these friends and these bonds and these connections that I made, but you made them, not your body. You made them. That's why you will always live on. People will always hear you. They'll always think about you. You're in the memories. You're inside of them. You're in their God. You're not on their bodies. You're not in their physical. You are in their gods of themselves. Now, maybe they have a codependent relationship with their body to where they can't tell the difference between themselves and their vehicle. That's on them. But you're not touching their body. You're touching them. So in their space, however way they want you to live forever, because they're going to live forever with you because you touched them, that's on them. That's how they choose to do that. But you ain't touching nobody. You ain't connected to nobody's body. You're not a physical being. You have a physical being. You own one. You're going to outlive it. Okay? And it's going to get to a point where you're going to want a new body. You're going to want one. Now we got life going, the route is going. You don't even have to get another meat suit. You could probably put yourself in a robot if you wanted to, the way things are going here. You could put yourself in a plant. You could put yourself in an animal. Some people getting a little robot dog. So I want to be a dog my next life. Put me in a robot dog. Put me in a cocaine bear. I don't fucking know. But like, we're expanding in choices now of what you can do when you outgrow your body. And that's cool. That's what humans do. We love to expand. We love to, whatever. Of course, with all light comes darkness. You got the capitalists and people being weird with your DNA and the cloning. Yeah, that shit's weird. That's not what I choose to focus on. I'm not making that a part of my reality because I'm not trying to open up those vortexes. I don't want y'all coming for me. Y'all can't have my DNA. I'm not calling y'all. I'm not talking to y'all. So don't talk to me. I don't exist in your vortex. You don't exist in mine. I'm not opening them portals. Now, for them folks that's always talking about, the government, the CIA, you see how they dealing with them now, right? Oh, you done spoke about them every day on your YouTube page. You opened that vortex, my guy. They heard you. You were in their intrusive thoughts. You were also in their algorithms on social media because you kept saying their names. So now that's what you're dealing with in your vortex. Like if you are always moving like you are oppressed and you have an oppressor and someone has their foot on your neck and you can't do this and you can't do that and you're scared of the police and you're scared of random white people in suits and you're scared of random Asian men. If you always got them thoughts in your head and then that's your reality. You created that. Be responsible. Ain't no white man knock on your door. You don't got the military banging down your door right now saying, give me your hose. Like none of that shit's happening right now. That's the portals you are opening and creating. Be responsible, be intentional, and be aware for real. Okay, they just age restricted me, and that's okay. I kind of thought that we were going to do that by default since I can't be live without being 18, but whatever. Peace. Welcome. But yeah, be mindful. Heart light as a feather. All right, so we're going to move through. We at the 7th. On the 7th, also, Pallas entered the Sagittarius zodiac. So Pallas is an asteroid. It deals with your genius-like qualities that you overlook in yourself. So again, we're still talking about the 7th here when Venus, is conjunct the moon. So now those genius-like qualities that you overlook yourself, Sagittarius is the zodiac in our sacral chakra. So a lot of qualities are things that you find joy in, that you're like, oh, I just do this for fun. I just do this because, and release my stress. I just do this when I'm upset. And they're like, bro, this is a fucking masterpiece. You're so good at this. You're so good at organizing. You're good at paperwork. You're so good at reading books. You're really good at researching. Oh my God, you're so good at teaching. Well, like I had to do, this just brings me joy, blah, blah, blah. That is the genius quality you are overlooking. And right now it's in Sagittarius energy. Pay attention to the things that may bring you joy. Pay attention to your personal Pallas placement. Pay attention to what placements you have in Sagittarius energy, because they're being invoked by Pallas right now. Excuse me. I've been saying that to myself all week. Be intentional. Yes, very, very intentional all the time, because it could be very easy to get pulled into some nut shit, especially nutty thoughts, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now. Like, Pluto is in Aquarius. The last time this happened was during the Revolutionary War. You go back another, 248. Then you got the beginning of the fall of the Moors. Go back a couple more 248s. You got the rise of the Moors. Go back some more 248s. You could see the rise and fall of many Asian dynasties and India's governments. Go back more 248. You got different wars. Go back another 248. You got the volcano that erupted and created darkness across the northern hemisphere for like 80 years. It's always the rise and fall of empires, civilizations, mindsets, how people connect with each other, etc., etc. So now we have Pluto in that place in the year of 8. We are in the year of transformations, with Pluto making this big transformational move. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where I was going with that, but now y'all got the knowledge of Pluto. Now y'all got the knowledge of Pluto. But you would say, like, yeah, be intentional. So oh yeah, look, all the nut stuff going on. So like, you got people that's out here that's experiencing the transformations of the 8. Because when you get into the Kabbalah and the Neteru's, Pluto rules over Hera-Kahuti, which deals with the enforcement. This is the enforcement, your solar plexus chakra. How are you enforcing in your solar plexus chakra? Well, what are you enforcing? You're enforcing your Mayat. Mayat is in your sacral chakra in Pisces, okay? So you go from Mayat to your solar plexus. Now we're in Hera-Kahuti and the enforcement. So what is your laws? What is your Mayat? So the sacral chakra is like, how in cartoons where you saw the angel on your shoulder and the devil? That's the fire and water. That's Pisces. You're saying, don't do that. This is the Mayat. That's not what you want. And then you have Sagittarius like, yeah, man, expansion. Try it. Just do it. See what happens. We'll learn later, like, if it's good or bad. Like, it was never really a devil. It was more like, just do it. You don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. Try it. And let's just learn this fucking lesson this way. Like, so those two energies are your sacral chakra. So wherever your Mayat is, how loud it is for you, how strong it is for you, is creating a standard for your Sagittarius action, how much you indulge in your sensories and how much you restrict yourself from your sensories. And then we get into the solar plexus on how you enforce it. Are you one of those people where, since I'm vegan, you gotta be vegan. And if you're not vegan, you're not black. And I'm into cosmos. And if you're not into cosmos, then you're not smart. You're not spiritual. Like, are you one of those kind of Hera-Kahuti individuals? Or are you one of those, if you like herbs, I like crystals, you like stars, you like the government. Everybody has their place. Or you gotta be like me, or hey, I don't like anybody at all. Like, it's all about where your Scorpius placements are at. What planetary placements you have in your Scorpio placement and where your Mars is at. So, being in the year 8, we're in the year of enforcing that Mayat. So those people who have not been in alignment with any type of moral, ethical code, as you guys can see, Pluto also deals with occultism, secrets, sex, okay? And you see a lot of those sex, secrets, and occultism, as well as secret relationships and relations coming out, because that's what Pluto also deals with. All that stuff is coming out with Pluto and Aquarius. All that stuff is coming out in the year of 8. So you got a lot of people out here, that you guys are connected to, that you never met a day in your life. You probably don't even know they exist. You know, a lot of you guys, you know, I be having dreams, I be hearing random thoughts, I be da-da-da. Yeah, because you're connected to somebody that's probably going through the fact that they're not in alignment with Mayat. They're getting their ass beat by Pluto. They're getting their ass beat by Scorpius. They're getting their ass beat by the year of the dragon and the 8 because they haven't been in alignment with Mayat this entire time. And they still thought they could get away with it in this year after Cat Williams did what he did. Shouts to my fellow Virgo Life Path 11 friend. I too am a Virgo Life Path 11. So, you know, you have these people still thinking they can be secretive and do their little 1-2 or whatever. P. Diddy left the country and shit. That don't mean shit. Pluto's still gonna come get your ass because Pluto is omniscient and universal. It's bigger than this country. And so you might hear Diddy's voices somewhere like, God damn it, what the fuck? I hate it here. I'm gonna kill myself. Da, 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 da. And you over here somewhere like, what? I should kill myself. I hate my life. Maybe I do. And that was a poor example because nobody wants to be, you know, virtually tethered to P. Diddy and his sound bites. But you get where I'm going with this. Some people is really going through it with this transformation of the year because they didn't do their work during the year of 7 where we would be called to step into our spirituality. Now you've seen quite a few celebrities fall into that calling. You've seen, you know, and it's not just celebrities. I'm pretty sure you guys know people on your personal, but I don't know people on your personal. So I'm using, you know, what I can use right now in this dialogue. But you've seen some celebrities saying, oh, you know, whatever religion they chose. Some people chose spirituality. Andre played the flute. You had what's her name? Black China? Is that her name? I don't know. But the China girl, she, you know, accepted God. Krishan making gospel albums. Like, you seen people move into their space. Snoop Dogg don't want to smoke weed. He eating it now. Like, you know, you see people was moving into that year 7. Like, oh no, we need that spiritual transformation. We got to remove ourselves from these spaces. But some people was like, fuck it. Fuck the flood. Because, you know, the year 8 is also the year of the flood too. I don't know if y'all do that or whatever, but the flood started during Scorpio season. You feel me? And it ended during Scorpio season too. So, you know, you got some people was like, fuck that arc, fuck that flood. It ain't really coming. No, we're tripping. We don't care. And now they're getting flooded the fuck out. Now they're getting flooded out. And some of you guys have your vortex connected to these people that haven't flooded out. And your vortex is probably connected to them because you're supposed to help them. You know, maybe when you get those, you know, thoughts or whatever, speak to them. Speak back to them. You probably playing telephone with these niggas or something like that. You know, our energy is that big to where we could do shit like that. And if you have faith that you can do that and you really be doing that, then you can do it. Will this be uploaded on YouTube? Because oh yeah, I'm live on YouTube too right now. I'm on both. I'm on TikTok and YouTube. So if you guys missed some of this, you guys can always check in with me on YouTube, Less Nobodies or whatever. All right, I'm moving forward. So February 8th was another big day. Again, on the number 8, right? The moon was in alignment with Mars, Pluto, and Mercury. So we had first of all, we had a square. 4 + 4 = 8. So that's 2 bricks that was created to create transformation. All right. Then we had Yamoja, which is the moon, our third eye, our feminine third eye. This is how we're internalizing our realization and awareness. This is our space of wisdom. So our wisdom was in alignment with our solar plexus chakra. Now we're paying attention to what motivates you, what gets you going, what angers you, what do you look like when you're angry? We just got done talking about your heart yesterday with the moon and Venus, right? Now today we're talking about what gets you angry. Now, see, the stars were aligned to help you be aware of what makes your heart light or heavy. You know what I'm saying? We had this. Then the moon was with Pluto. Some of y'all got some secrets. Some of y'all got some skeletons in y'all closet. Some of y'all seek power. Some of you guys are jealous. Some of you guys have these different things. Well, the moon wanted you to be incited on that. When do you feel jealous? When do you feel like you deserve what somebody else has instead of what your own vision? Why don't you feel like you deserve what you have? You feel like you deserve what somebody else has. Are you giving yourself everything that you deserve? Detach yourself from your physical body. Your physical body is a vehicle. When I get into my car, I deserve to go home. And I'm going to get home. Because when I go in that car, I'm driving, I'm paying attention, I'm defensively driving, I'm stopping where I need to stop, I'm going where I need, because I'm going to fuck home because that's where I deserve to go. Home, I need to arrive alive. I'm never really on time. But I'm alive though, that's what matters. You feel me? I was born a whole month late, so me being on time, I don't know. I'm working on it, whatever. But the moon wanted you to be aware of what things happen that make your heart heavy. What makes you mad? What motivates you? What gets you impatient? What gets you circulating? What gets you going? What are some of your secrets? What are some of your moments of jealousy? What are the things in your solar plexus chakra that we need to, lighten up? What are some things that you are enforcing that is just not, it just ain't good for you? That's what you should have been experiencing on the 8th. And the 8th was also a day of invocation, with the moon being in alignment with Mercury as well, because that's our throat chakra. So now you got the moon in alignment with the masculine and feminine side of our solar plexus, with the moon with Pluto and Mars. And then you have it in alignment with our throat chakra or Mercury. So now you're like, okay, so we have to speak these things. We're paying attention. We're listening and learning. We're invoking. We're taking downloads. We're putting up uploads. We're learning. We're going through the cycles. We're paying attention to this day, and we're organizing our daily routine after this. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to enforce it with that solar plexus too. These are 2 bricks that we created on the day of the 8th. If y'all keep diaries, which I've been telling y'all to do for years now, keep an astro journal or astro book where you talk about where the planets are, or at least date it. And then when you come and look at my planetary forecast, which is and look at the forecast or the Hump Day reading, and I go through these days and these placements and stuff, you can be like, oh, that was the day that happened. That's crazy. Okay, I got the awareness now. I know what I want to do now. Do that. That's what I do. And it helps. It definitely helps. But the 8th was a crazy day. That was a heavy day in the cosmos, especially for my Cancers out there. Are y'all okay? Are the Cancers okay? Are y'all Cancer placements, especially my Cancer moons? Are y'all okay? Because what the fuck? Y'all was going through it at the beginning of February, wasn't y'all? What are people all together for real? Mars also entered on a draconic chart, Capricorn. So now we have Mars on the Vedic and draconic chart. Our events and our soul experience in the realms of motivation and things is now on Capricorn, getting things done, materializing, creating the cornerstones, the boundaries, and the discipline and stuff like that. So this was a good day to do that soul communication with yourself and, your spirit guides and things like that. Then we had the new moon on the 9th. So after the moon went through all them planets, then we had the moon refreshing for us. We got to get all those rays down on us, and we love it there. That was the hunger moon and the raccoon moon and all that. And then on that day, the sun is your electromagnetic energy is your rising sign. That's the energy you give off when you walk in a room. Your sun is your experiences. What kind of experiences are you having? I have Virgo experiences. My rising is Leo, though. When I walk in a room, I give off Leo energy, but I have Virgo experiences. So the sun is on a draconic chart in Aquarius. So our soul is having Aquarius experiences. Our actual physical vortex is having Aquarius experiences. But our mindset, the tropical chart, the zodiac, the sun is in Pisces. So our mindset is having Pisces experiences, which is a lot of spirituality, uploads, downloads, things of that nature, while the rest of our self is dealing with that awareness and revolutionary energy and wanting to do things different and stuff like that. That's what we have there. Then on the 10th, we have the moon and Saturn. So now, we have the new moon, and now we're moving into challenges. All right, we cleansed y'all. We gave you the new moon. We aligned you with the throat chakra, the solar plexus, and your heart chakra. Now we want to see what you're going to do with it. Now the day after the new moon, now we want to see how you're going to apply. Saturn comes through with the challenges. Saturn comes through with the moments that teach you discipline and a moral and ethical code. I always think like a Barney episode or like we had really good cartoons as a kid that literally show you what Saturn is like. In the beginning of the episode, there was an issue. The kids had a problem. The problem happened. Boom, that's Saturn. Saturn is the issue. Now, throughout the entire episode, everybody's brainstorming and problem solving. They might break into song. It depends on what show you're watching. And they're just trying to solve this issue. And they're healing while they're showing the issue, though. Like, oh, this is why it's like this. This is boo boo bop. That is this. This is that. And they start to come to a collective understanding to why things are the way they are. Oh, my live is about to end on TikTok. I didn't know that they had this on a timer, but you guys can move on over to YouTube if you like. Less nobodies. Oh, they make you do a whole puzzle situation. That's wild. Oh, they didn't do it. Oh, okay. Never mind. They're not going to turn me off. I guess that's like a little thing they do to see if I'm still here. I'm here. Anyway, so where was I going? So Saturn gives you problems. We're problem solving, but we're problem solving peacefully, right? Because these are kid cartoons. Niggas is not killing each other. It's like, oh, let's figure out why he's a bully. He's a bully because at home he's hungry and his parents hate each other and he's trying to deal with it. So by the end of the episode, now we have a solution. We have, okay, moving forward, you play with the toy for 20 minutes and then you play with the toy. That's a boundary. That's a new discipline. That's an order. That was created because this Saturn event happened. This challenge happened. Now we have a tendency to label challenges like traumas. I was traumatized as a child. So now I got to do this root work, this shadow work, because I was traumatized. It's not trauma. You were challenged. And you have to understand that the universe does not give a fuck about how old your human body is. Just like you don't give a fuck about how old your car is. When I get in my car, I'm bragging about the fact I don't have a car. I'm speaking my shit into existence. When I get into my car, I brag about the fact that this shit is 2024. I got a 2024 car. I don't give a fuck that this car is only a day old. But in Carville, maybe in car community, this is a newborn baby car. And the mama car is somewhere like, oh my God, you just took my 1-year-old and you're driving it across the country. And this is an example. I just want you to understand where I'm coming from. Or we can talk about chicken nuggets. You like nuggets? Do you give a fuck how chicken was before it turned into your chicken nuggets? No, but I bet you his mom does. Where is my baby? My baby was just born yesterday. It's in my stomach. That was a chicken nugget. It was great. Sometimes eating young animals is a delicacy because it's softer or whatever. And then you got these people that eat babies. That was the end of the sentence. And they don't care. They don't care that it's only 2 days old or 3 days old or whatever. This is what they do. The universe does not care that you were 2 years old and you were born on the side of the road by a garbage can. Because you want to know what the fuck you was doing before that moment happened. You were here in 1725 talking hot shit. You told this person, I'm gonna stab the shit out of you, I'm gonna beat your ass, you garbage, and then you get shot and then you wake up. And now you being born by a garbage can. Like, yeah, the universe don't care you a newborn. The universe don't care that you 3 years old getting abused. The universe don't care. That's some shit that you had to experience because last life you was talking hot shit. Your body is just a vehicle. You are not your body. That energy, that's you. The thought that tells the body what to do, that's you. Not this. This is not me. The thought that's inside of my head that's telling me to say these things to you, telling me to move how I'm moving, that told me to even go live to beginning. That's me, not this. This ain't me. I mean, it's a really good looking like reflection of me though. I ain't gonna hold you. I really like this vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, when I picked my parents, I knew, you know what I mean? Like, you know what? I'll take all the trauma. They got nice jeans and I'm trying to look like them. Okay. And sometimes it be just that shallow for y'all. Sometimes y'all was that shallow, like, ooh, I need to look like, I need his features, I need his capacity, I need his knowledge, and I need her hair, and I need her experiences, and I need this part of her lineage, and I need that part of that history. I need to be a part of this tribe and that tribe over there at the same time. Yeah, y'all was cherry picking. Y'all picked y'all shit. It's time to be accountable and understand that the universe didn't care that you was in a 1-year-old body. Like, oh my God, I'm having buyer's remorse. I want to redo my contract. Blah, 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 blah. Like, no, bro. You said this what you with them, the parents you wanted. That's the lineage you wanted. You was talking hot shit, past life, woo, woo, wah. So now this is what you got. Oh, you in that body? Okay, so you an infant and you think because the adults around you don't speak English, so you inside that infant body talking hot shit, speaking shit into existence, vortex shit, the stuff like that. You think the universe didn't overstand you when you was in that infant body saying, I have no body, I don't have this, I don't have that, or I deserve this, I deserve it, da da da. Because some of y'all was bossy babies. I personally, I have 2 bossy babies, okay? And because my boys was bossy, guess what? They were heard. They get attention. They da-da-da. Why? Because that them knew what they deserve. I deserve attention. I deserve love. I deserve support. So what did their body do? I'm gonna cry, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do that, or I'm gonna da-da-da-da. We gonna get what you said because this is what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? So if you was 2 years old and you speaking all this sadness on yourself, and your parents just think, oh, he's such a good baby, he quiet, he don't be crying. Meanwhile, you over there depressed as shit, but you just can't formulate the words to talk about it. You ain't got the physio-motor shit yet. You're not together with it yet, right? So you speaking all this stuff. So by the time you turn 10 or 11, now you in an abusive house. Now something happened to your parents. Now this, that, and the third, da 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 da. Yeah, let's be accountable. You know what I mean? Your energy is old. You can't sit up here and say, oh, I'm 1,000 years old, da 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 da, and then turn around and say, but I was just a baby. No, you wasn't. You was 1,000 then too. You knew what the fuck. Don't do that. Be accountable all the way, homies. And that's also what Pluto and Neptune get into too, your cycles of your life and your energy and stuff like that. I will be more than glad to read y'all draconic readings and stuff like that. But this is the comeback on the day. February 10th is when the moon and Saturn were in conjunction. 10 is also dealing with the 10th house. That's also Capricorn energy, which is associated with Saturn. So you see how the numbers and the astrology are in divine alignment. So whether you're in numerology or you're in astrology, you're going to get the same messages essentially because they move in alignment for each other. So that's like saying, like, you know, I really don't believe one is better than the other because I do both. I think they complement each other great. And then we get into the 11th. 11 is a mastery number, right? We get into the spiritual number. The moon and Neptune were in conjunction that day. So now we're moving in Yamoja. Our level of third eye awareness is now on this Pisces energy, and now it's on actual Maya. So we went down to our root chakra. We had those experiences and challenges. We created those boundaries, discipline, and order. We taught ourselves how to obtain certain resources. We did the work, right? Now we're in Pisces. Now we're applying it to our law. What are we etching into our law? What are we engraving in the emerald tablets for ourselves? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing now? So now we come into that space on the 11th, which is cool because that is a number of mastery. I think I'm missing a February paper somewhere because then I skip right into the 17th. And that doesn't make sense. Oh, it's on the other paper. So on the 12th, Venus entered Capricorn constellation. So on the Vedic scale and our actual vortex, the events happening, Venus is now in that space of building. Now our heart chakra is in our root chakra. So now we've had that awareness of Saturn, right? Now our heart chakra is entering in our root chakra. Now we're going to say, now where our heart is at is going to materialize. And now we're going to have challenges of the heart as well to see how bad do you want to materialize this thing. I like Saturn's challenges because it's like Saturn's challenges is like the universe saying, okay, I heard you say you want that. Like, oh, you know, it was a period of time where I was like, I'm a wrestling fan. I like wrestling. So I love Trinity. Naomi, fucking love her. So at one period of time, I wanted a body. I want a wrestler's body. Like, I'll do the work. So Saturn was like, okay, you'll do the work. Bet. Saturn is like me going, I started dating a really fit guy, attracted him into my vortex. Then, and I wasn't on purpose. He walked up on me. I didn't know this guy was in the gym stuff and stuff like that till I started getting to know him. And then I'm like, oh shit. And then he's in a CrossFit. So now I'm doing CrossFit with him. Then one day I'm walking and this guy stops me. He's like, oh, I seen you on YouTube a few times with your, I used to teach Zumba before my accident. And he's like, would you like to teach Zumba at my gym? There you go. Another opportunity I just got sucked into. You know what I'm saying? So it was like different things that was coming into my path that was pushing me to have that fitness that I wanted. They were challenges. They were challenges because I had to deal, with different like altercations and stuff like that. I didn't have the level of awareness that I have now, but I did have a certain level of awareness to where I knew why these people were in my space. I knew I manifested them. I knew, it's XYZ. But when it came to the altercations with the energy, you know, during, it was like, okay, I don't know what to do with this now, because I don't really do confrontation too well. And then I'm a recovering people pleaser. So to me, sometimes setting boundaries, even if I do it kindly, feels like confrontation, because people pleasers always attract people takers. So usually when I set boundaries with the people that I've had in my root chakra all this time, it would cause them to explode, and they didn't know how to take it, and it would make me feel bad, and then I would retract the boundary that I made because I don't want to be a bad guy. But now I'm attracting better people in my space that me set boundary is not an argument. It's not an insult. It's not a form of disrespect or disregard. And I love it here, and I never want to go back. But you know, those were challenges I had to have. So that's what that's what Venus and the Saturn, Venus entering Capricorn constellation is. The thing that you know, your heart is pumping towards. This is why I talked to you about grounding in the beginning of this video, the importance of grounding yourself, heart chakra, with that around us. Take your shoes off, go outside. Them shoes is blocking the magnetic fields of nature. So, that is the alignment of you having your frequency in alignment with your root chakra, setting boundaries for your heart, you know, experiencing the challenges that you needed to experience and things like that. The next day on the 13th, now the moon is rising. During that whole time, the moon was descending. Now we got the moon going back up. On the 14th, this is a day of 5. 5 is a day of adventures, the need for freedom, expansion. Woo-wah. The moon and Jupiter in conjunction today. What does Jupiter do? Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Oracles, sages. Now we're going out of the physical and moving into the non-physical reflections of planets. You know what I mean? So now we have, you know, awareness on our sacral chakra. Last week we had awareness on our internal side of our chakra with that moon and Neptune conjunction. Where is your law of Maya? Now this week we have, okay, now what's up my awareness on how I exercise my Maya and my sacral? Am I keeping that boundary? Am I keeping that line? Am I crossing it? Am I doing things? You might have been tempted to take a drink when you told yourself you weren't going to drink anymore. You might probably say yourself, oh, I got this rule. I don't do that about that. And I don't please this sensory, and I don't do da. And it may have been challenged or exercised. Probably for your liking, because sometimes some of y'all be suppressing yourself and oppressing yourself, and then y'all get mad when y'all see other humans out here not supposed or oppressing themselves, and you're like, why won't you oppress yourself the way I oppress myself? I make my sacral chakra quiet. Your sacral chakra should be quiet too. And yeah, that's not how it goes. If you want to quiet your sacral chakra, do that. Other people, what they want to do with their sacral chakra is up to them and their internal Maya. You feel me? So that moon and Jupiter conjunction on the 14th was talking about that. It was like a triangle in the sky because the moon, Jupiter, and Mars were all near each other, because Mars and Jupiter were also having a close approach with each other. So we had a triangle situation there, which is creation between your third eye, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus chakra, which is your enforcement, you know, your circulator. So being able to create the things that you want. You know, sex magic was a good day on the 14th. If some of y'all got to do or whatever, that was a good day to do it. Some of you guys, you know, probably experienced that Mars heavily, because that is a warrior energy. If you already were feeling angry and upset and things like that, Jupiter probably would have expanded that for you. Mars also entered the Aquarius zodiac that day. So your solar plexus chakra was on that space of revolutionary energy, doing something different. That probably could have been an ego death for some of you guys too, because Aquarius is on a draconic chart. That's how you're clipped from the womb. That's your level of detachment or whatever. So spiritual deaths, ego deaths, spirit guide deaths, tethered deaths, things of the unseen happening with that Mars new beginnings energy with Aquarius as well. But then with new beginnings, it comes, you know, new things growing in its place as well. So, you know, being mindful of that. Also, the sun entered Aquarius constellation on the 14th as well. So now on the Vedic scale, we finally have the tropical, Vedic, and draconic chart lined up, all being in Aquarius, which we get to experience for the next few days until the sun enters Pisces zodiac on the tropical scale, right? But from the 14th on, you got to experience that divine alignment, having those experiences all across the board, being about social awareness, social justice, how you interconnected with each other. So for some of you guys, the 14th was probably a big bang in your life that was making you more aware of how you've been treating people, how you've been getting treated, the different relationships you have with people, your awareness of those things and stuff like that. Then on the 15th, Valentine's Day, or the side person day, we have Moon and Uranus in conjunction. So now we're in this planet of like, Uranus is like Saturn, but it's like it pushes harder. Like Saturn is more rugged and rigid and sharp edges. It's more like falling down the side of a mountain, whereas Uranus is more like a gust of wind. It's more like the tornado in the Wizard of Oz. And they're both going to push you to create new boundaries and order and stuff like that. But Uranus just like really, really pushes you. Uranus has been in Taurus since quarantine started. Literally around the same week that quarantine started, Uranus entered Taurus. So that's how strong Uranus is. And, Taurus ruled over the heart chakra. That's our universal love, self-love, friendship love, how we connect with one another. People were separated from each other. People came into relationships. Some of you guys are quarantined, girlfriends, boyfriends, husbands and wives, mothers and fathers. Some of you that started because y'all was stuck in the house together. Uranus, also created change in how we receive money. Some of y'all was receiving a lot of grants, loans. A lot of you guys were able to, tap into the trust accounts that were created for unemployment, all that fun stuff like that. So that was all Uranus. That joint don't play, do it. Now, when Uranus enters in Gemini, that's supposed to be in like 2026. I seen somebody do a reel about how they think that in 2026 we're gonna be able to talk to aliens like heavy, like the way we used to. And that's not far-fetched, because you see how much Uranus has done with Taurus. We have went from nobody believing in Bitcoin to having hundreds of different cryptocurrencies, to the point now where governments are adopting cryptocurrencies and blocking others. We had I forget the name of the acronym, but all the countries that came together and did away with the dollar. Then we had all the cryptocurrency leaders, rest in peace to the creator of Cash App and the other, trading platforms, but those leaders passing on. That's Uranus and Taurus doing big things. It's crazy, right? But yeah, when Uranus hits that Gemini, communication is going to be real different. It's going to be a surge in communication. It's going to be a big transformation in community. I think that is going to be, whether you live off grid amongst your tribe or you in the AI smart city realm. But it's definitely going to be a thicker divide between the two. And it's going to be I always think of the Little Rascals when they're like, choose or die, choose or die. And he has to choose between his friend and his girlfriend, Alfalfa or whatever. I feel like it's like one of those type of situations that'll happen because, Gemini is twins. You got the mortal and you got the immortal twin. And then you have the double side of the story, which is like some people tell the story and say, oh, these were valiant warriors. They went around and they fought everybody and they were so brave. And then you have some people saying they were a fucking menace. They would go around acting like show enough, challenging people to duels and killing motherfuckers. It was crazy. They were wild savages. So it depends on who the story, right? So you have people talking about AI and they're like, oh my God, AI is the solution and we love it here. But then you have some people talking about AI like AI is going to infiltrate our DNA and it's going to get us and blah, blah, blah. It depends on who's telling the story, their motive behind the story, et cetera, et cetera. You get where I'm going with that. But a lot of that is Uranus and Gemini. And that's why I say like the line in the mud between this or that is going to be way thicker in that space. And it's going to be like a heavy time to choose. So in this space of 8 transformations with Pluto entering Aquarius early in the game, do the shit now. Do the work now before Uranus and Jupiter enter Gemini. And then it's like, what the fuck? But then I also think that this is going to be a big time where like communicating with spirit guides and telecommunicating with one another is going to become a big thing again too, for those who went the spiritual route instead of the AI route. But AI ain't no different. You know what a phone is or technology? A computer is just an orgonite. It's made out of sand, crystal, metal, which is more sand. That's it. Rocks and metals. That's what your phone is made out of. Rocks and metals. That's what the computers are made out of. Rocks and metals. That's all the shit is rocks and metals. So like if you got an orgonite in your hand, I would say like learning how to tweak the electromagnetic field of your organite that you walk around with to make sure that it complements you instead of works against you. You know what I mean? You do what you want to do. You know what I mean? You do what you want to do. But then on the 16th, if you was getting your ass beat by all these moon conjunctions, then by the time we reach the 16th, which is 1 and 6 coming to 7, 6 is a number of dis-ease too. If you have anything in the 6th house on your chart, that's a place that you need to pay attention to keep healthy. Otherwise, it's gonna go down. But that's the Virgo energy. That's the space of organization. And then you come into the 7, which is your Moja, the third eye energy. That's also the first quarter moon after the new moon. And then the moon and Pleiades are in alignment on that day too. So Pleiades is like the 7 mourning sisters, how you deal with mourning and sorrow and shit. So if you didn't deal well with those moon planetary conjunctions, you and Pleiades was probably hugging pillows, eating ice cream. But if you did well, you probably like, oh, it's a great day. I love it here. And you're probably dealing with some side shit that you thought that you healed a long time ago. On the 17th, Venus entered Aquarius zodiac. So on our mindset, our heart chakra is entering revolutionary energy, wanting justice and fairness and all that. Mercury is entering the draconic Aquarius on the 17th. So now we have that alignment with Aquarius across the board. With Mercury, our throat chakra, being on that revolutionary energy, wanting to speak to people. And then 1 and 7 come together, make 8, standing on your 7, your third eye, and then making transformations with the 8. So that was a good day for those transits. Then we enter Pisces. We start having Pisces experiences on the tropical chart on February 20th, 202208. What was that? 14? That's 5. So, now during Pisces experiences, that's probably when a lot of conjurers and alchemists were rubbing their hands together like, what can we do to re-distract these people? We need to give them something else to do. Probably like a new movie or a new album came out or a new hip-hop beef or something to focus on. Was that the day that Benzino shit came out? That nigga didn't write that stuff. But I was talking about that last night on the podcast I was on last night. But yeah, that was a day where, like, those that had been trying to keep people in the dark, they probably came up with a new chicken sandwich or something. And then, excuse me, I'm sorry, I be coming with the jokes. And then stop eating them chicken sandwiches, y'all. We watched They Clone Out Tyrone, and then you're going to go out to the nearest new chicken shack and be like, there's a new chicken spot that just came out over here. I never heard of them a day in my life until I saw this building. Now, I always see people outside lined up, like they don't have an inside restaurant. You stand outside and order your food outside the window. Mind you, it's February in the state of New Jersey. It's cold as shit over here. They've been outside since December, standing outside for some chicken. Mind you, there's a chicken shack across the street that's been there since probably older than me, because I feel like that store was there when I was in 8th grade. they probably been there longer than I've been here. And I'm like, bro, why is y'all standing outside in the middle of December, January, February for some motherfucking chicken when there's a chicken shack right across the street? And we just got done watching They Clone Tyrone. They like, oh, this chicken good. Yeah, I bet you it's real good and cracky. On February 22nd, 2228, now we're on the master number. We have Venus and Mars in conjunction. So now we have our motivation energy, our circulator, what gets us going in alignment with our heart chakra, aligning those two spaces together on the 22nd. That was a day of master architect. So now we're really doing the shadow work with what makes our heart heavy, because Mars also deals with our anger, right? So what makes us angry? For me, it's food. I don't really get angry or upset about things unless I'm hungry while the thing is happening. But if I ate already while whatever is happening, I'm Gucci. I'm not really tripping. But let me be hungry, I'm probably going to trip. That's it in a nutshell. I'll probably trip if I didn't eat yet. So while the sun is in Aquarius, Earth is in Leo. So I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but your body, this is why you are disconnected from your body. You are not your body. You have a body, okay? Because your body is in Leo, while your spirit is your body is in Leo, Virgo energy, while your spirit is in Pisces, Pisces Aquarius energy, right? So our soul is in Pisces, Aquarius energy, and then our body is over here still in Leo. So your body is awakening, right? What is Leo? Leo is the middle of summer. So your body is awakening, your body is getting that confidence, is, I want to lose weight and I want to do this and I want to go here and I want to do that. You feel that awakening in you in that Leo energy as we enter that Virgo energy, whether you're on the tropical or Vedic scale is up to you. I like to use both. So on the Vedic scale, we are still in Leo. On the tropical scale, we have entered Virgo as far as our body goes. So now the body is starting to plan and organize, and y'all planning trips, y'all planning diet plans. Ramadan's about to happen. Y'all planning for that. Y'all planning what's the kids gonna do for spring break? What's the kids gonna do for the summer? What's summer camps coming out? What trips me and my friends finna go on summer. Some of you guys got businesses, and the businesses, move in alignment with nature, especially if you have a spiritual business. Business don't start booming for us until the soil is out, and then we can come back outside again and sell our things and do our services and do our bartership and our fellowship and stuff like that. So, that's all your body being in Virgo. We planting it, we're harvesting, we're manifesting it. The earth is in, Leo Virgo right now. So when you see planets in Aquarius, or if you see planets in Pisces, it's opposite us right now. They're the ops. So the Leo is opposite Sun because we are in Leo. And so the Leo constellation is very, very easy to see right now. Whatever placements, planetary placements that are in Leo and Virgo right now, probably more so like asteroids right now that are in Leo and Virgo right now, they're the closest to us right now. Then the moon of prophecy happened on the 27th. What was that, Monday? 2-7 come together, make 9. That's wholeness and completion. We had that Virgo moon then, we entered the Virgo moon on the tropical scale. We're now in Virgo moon on the Vedic scale. So now we're having the Virgo experiences in the constellation. So the moon is really close to us right now. But on the tropical scale, we had the moon in Purima. Well, yeah, that's Vedic too, but that's the beginning of Virgo. Anyway, they were in alignment, and Purima is the star of prophecy. And whatever you prophesize comes to light, and that just so happens to be on a Monday, a moon day, a lunar day, your Moja day, day of third eye moments. And then we have, remember I told you, we started the month off February 1st with the moon and speaker, right? What are we ending the month off with? The moon and speaker. So it's a full circle situation. That's why today is such a great day for Sankofa. I'm glad I got to go through a recap with you guys. I hope you guys were going through your astrological and your numerology journals. And you guys feel free to go back on my TikTok page, my YouTube page, my Facebook page, my Instagram page. If you guys want rehashes on any of the mathematics that I did. I tended to do the mathematics every day, but some days were easier than others to post them. However, I was still walking around in my divine alignment in my head. Yesterday, also, Mercury and Saturn were in conjunction. So we had the throat chakra and challenges to that space. Now, the throat chakra, Mercury, rules over how you listen, how you speak, how you teach, how you learn, your moral and ethical code, how you organize and manage yourself according to that moral and ethical code, what you invoke into your space based upon that moral and ethical code. And that moral and ethical code is based upon how you listen and how you learn and how you absorb information over time. So that Mercury, the thing that you were invoking at the beginning of the month when Moon and Speaker were together, and I talked about how Speaker is about harvesting and materializing and taking everything we learned from the month of 1, where we were pre-gaming for Aries season that we're about to walk into tomorrow. Now, being present, we're reflecting on the challenges, the boundaries, the order. What do we learn this month? What are new boundaries, discipline, and order that we want to set into our, our root chakra, that Saturn space, that Capricorn space? What do we want to put there now? What do we need there now? Mind you, these placements are also in Aquarius. This is our social justice, revolutionary energy, awareness. It could be as unique as you need it to be, because that's what Aquarius is about. It's detached as fuck from what everybody else is doing. It's so detached. We don't care. We're talking about the umbilical cord level of detachment here. Being detached from the placenta is a wild experience. That was your life force for your whole existence up until that moment. You know what I'm saying? That's a big deal. That's Aquarius. So with with Mercury and Saturn there, it's Okay, so what are we gonna do? What are we invoking in our space? What's the new discipline, order, and things like that? We done went through this whole month of twos. You experience all these conjunctions and these numbers and things like that. You experience these events and stuff based upon what you claimed that you wanted at the beginning of the month. Do we still want those things? Are we here to rehash the things that have in our root chakra? Are they in the way of us having these things? Or do they complement us having these things? These are thoughts, right? How is your mind helping you? And then Eros entered Aries, so now we have our a new beginning to our heart. Now at the end of the month, the cosmos love you so much that the cosmos knew some of you guys weren't going to do the fucking work. They know not everybody has this. Not everybody going to do it like this. So what did the cosmos do? They created an electromagnetic field that put Eros in Aries at the end of the month. You know what? Just in case you guys didn't do the work, we were going to put a new beginning on the overall love cycle of y'all as a collective. And if you went outside and ground yourself, you'll feel it. And you can align yourself with that Eros and Aries. Concentrate on it. And then concentrate where your personal Eros is at. Right now it's in the space of new beginnings to your heart, and you deserve it. And allow that to be the guide while the Mercury is in Saturn. And then your psyche, which is your mindset, this is also another astro Capricorn. So now your mindset is implementing things. We're solidifying things. This is in the constellation. So now we have a lineup between psyche being in the Capricorn zodiac and constellation. So now we have these two charts lined up. Your mindset is lined up. You're going to say things with all your mind. And now you have a brand new heart, all your heart. And Aries also deals with cardinal energy. This is a wands card. This is a space of action. We're going to act on our heart now, right? Because now we have confidence in our heart, which is also Aries energy, confidence and courageousness. We're enforcing our heart because Aries is also Mars, which is Hera Kahuti, the solar plexus of enforcement. We have all that now because we did the work all month, right? Yeah, we did, sunshine. Thank you. Thank you for doing the work. We love it here. So now we have the psyche there. So all that mind and all that heart, knowledge, wisdom. Tomorrow we're coming into motherfucking understanding. And when you come into understanding, you're implementing what you got. PCs. You're implementing what you got between the knowledge and the wisdom. Now we're in the space of creation. Yay. And if you caught me on Do the Knowledge Radio earlier, I spoke on this heavily. Like, this is the year of sex. This is the year of conception. We sex in all 365. What are you sexing for? I had a friend of mine tell me that, people don't pay attention because usually when we have sex, we be under the influence. People get high, people get drunk. And so sometimes they let spirits in them and they get possessed when they have a baby. Do you want to be inebriated while you're conceiving? I don't. I want to be highly aware of what I'm conceiving during this year of 8. Because when we go into the year of 9, now we're in full circle. 9 is the year of birth. Now we're giving birth. It takes 9 months to give birth, right? We're going to go into that 9th year. Now we're going to give birth. Right now we sexing it. Last year we were in the year of 7. We should have been in a space of getting all the non-physical attributes together. We was in the spiritual realm. We was really, everybody pulling the hermit card, learning thyself. What do I want for my energy? What's my human design? What's my gene codes? What's my astro chakra reading? What are my netters set up like? What are my chakras set? We was doing all of that. We was learning it. So now, in this year, we're getting our birthrights. We meet in the souls we're supposed to meet. We're creating those occults, We're getting our thrones and our empires built. And we having sex. Lots and lots of sex. It's not always BET uncut version of sex. Sometimes sex is you and another person sitting down talking up, conjuring up an idea, and then manifesting with your hand, festival of hands, following suit with the likeness of the minds. This is why learning about strong man is so important, because in order to sign a contract, you have to have a likeness of a mind. And that goes back to what I said in the beginning of this video. You are not your body. You have a body. You are God. You are the energy inside of you that tells your body what to do. Your body is obeying you. You are the master. on this last day of 2, the Oba justice scales, I will say, when you look at your straw man on a piece of paper, there's no mind on that piece of paper. There's no God on that piece of paper. There's no God in corporation. There's no mind in corporation. That's why it has to be under God. It's under God. If you were God, then it's under you. One government under God, one nation under God. In God we trust. When they say in God we trust on a promissory note, what they're saying is, I'm the God, I manifested this, conjured it. We trusting that when I give this to you, the God in you is going to accept it and say, because the God is the thought, it's the light. This is just a body. The body is going to take the dollar, but the God in you is going to say, oh, this $5, this money. So as long as I got your God thinking that this is money, and I got your God, doing the most to accumulate this thing, then that's what God is going to do. In God we trust. If that's what God is saying this is, then that's what it is. You see your straw man on a piece of paper, you see the corporation on the other side, that's not God. There's no God in that corporation. And that's why you can argue down that's why the straw man situation is valid. Because if you look up the laws, they literally say it has to be a likeness of minds. There's no mind in corporations. There's no mind in companies. There's no mind in those spaces. So there can't be a likeness of minds. There's no connectivity of gods. The physics is not happening there. It's not. Because can you show me who's Verizon? Who's AT&T? Who's PSE&G? Who's Cox? Show me them. Where they at? Because I want to see the God. There isn't one. It's an entity on a piece of paper. And so they have to transmute you into an entity in a piece of paper. And when you walk into a building and say, oh yeah, that's me. Not only do you have a weird ass relationship with your body, but now you have a weird ass relationship to a company that is not God until you say it is. Just like that piece of paper that got handed to you, that green piece of paper, it don't mean nothing until you say it do. Now, the moment you say this don't mean nothing, or the moment you say, oh no, that's not me, that changes the fucking game, because you the God. Does that make sense? I hope it does in this month of justice, because we about to go into a month of creation. So you be mindful of the reality you create with this justice and these bonds and these contracts and the OPA scales that you have been balancing all month long. All right. All right. Whew. So today, we talked about Mercury and Saturn being in conjunction yesterday. Today, the Sun and Saturn are in conjunction. So now we have this, and we already did the Venus, right? I don't think we did Venus and Saturn yet. So we must have Venus and Saturn coming up. And I'll let y'all know about that tomorrow. Tomorrow is the planetary forecast for the month of March. But today we had the Sun and Saturn in conjunction. So now your experiences, because like I told you, you are not your sun sign. Your electromagnetic energy is your rising. Your sun is your experiences. So today our experiences were in our root chakra. So that's probably why I've been live all day and I love it here. Reestablishing my root chakra and what I'm good at and what I'm supposed to be doing and what I'm here for. You guys have been experiencing different challenges in your space, all right, in your experiences that you have to overcome. See, I didn't go home yet, so I probably got some experiences over there waiting for me too. That's where the majority of my Saturn resides. I live on a 9. But yeah, so whatever experience or whatever challenges you have today, whatever discipline, boundaries, and things that you had today, just, put them into action when we start tomorrow. Tomorrow is taking cardinal action on the things that you wish to create. What do you want to do? And I love that it starts on a Venusian day, so it's still giving you Sankofa vibes. Don't forget about the heart chakra we focused on all last month in the month of 2. Don't forget about that, John, while you create tomorrow, because we're taking that knowledge from January, the wisdom from February, and now we're taking the understanding of March, and we're doing the whole Holy Trinity thing all month long. And also for the month of March, if you guys would like a solar plexus reading, today until 12 o'clock is the last day to get a heart chakra reading. for $22. Then it goes back up to the 44. March 1st, starting at midnight, the solar plexus chakra readings are now 22. So for the month of March, you will be able to get your solar plexus chakra read. What I do is I only do the natal chart. If you want progressive, let me know. But I would have either you want only progressive or you want only natal. But to have both will be extra, as far as like adding on to the package. Because y'all already know I'm extra and y'all already know that I'm going ham on y'all chakra reading. Please don't make it more difficult for me. But like I get into the asteroid placements, I get into the numerology, I do the tropical and the Vedic. I don't get into the draconic. Again, if you want the draconic added onto it, I will add, it does add on to the $22. But for $22, you get the tropical and the Vedic chart. It's natal by default unless you request progressive, but not both unless you want to pay more. I go over so I'll just, for the heart chakra, we went over your Venus placement, any other planetary placements in alignment with your Venus. Then I went over your Libra and your Taurus placements. I explained them, how they sit on your heart chakra in alignment with the Kabbalah and the Netters, and how they align with each other on the tropical and the Vedic chart. Now, for the solar plexus is ruled by Mars. So I'm going to go over your Mars placements. What's in alignment with your Mars. I might touch other placements a little bit because y'all know I'm extra. I'm a Virgo stellium. I'm very precise with my shit. Sometimes I have to remind myself this is just a $22 reading, Nika. Chill the fuck out. But then sometimes I go ham. It was a couple readings I did during the month of February. I was like, girl, you've been reading this person for like 2 hours. This is a $22 reading. Girl, stop. I have to put boundaries on my own energy, because when I get downloads on y'all charts, I will go in. Every reading be like $100 worth reading. Because I want to tell you, your Mars is a fire. So now I want to tell you about your Leo and your Jupiter, and, your sun and your Jupiter or whatever. Now I want to talk about, Mars on the internal feminine side is ruled by Aries. So now I want to tell you about your fire placements, your Leo and Sagittarius. And then on the external side is Scorpio. So now I want to tell you about your Cancer and your Pisces placements that, support each other. And then, I just be going in, and I can't do that. So I'm learning my own boundaries or whatever. But yeah, so I'll go over your Mars placement. I'll go over your Scorpius and your Aries placements and how they align with each other on the tropical and Vedic chart on the on your chakras. And again, like I said, I could add the other things onto it too, but it'll be additional. This at that rate is $22, and that's what I'm doing for the month of March. In addition to that, the planetary forecast will be tomorrow evening. I look forward to talking to you guys about what March has in store for us. Also, I am doing a fundraiser this month. I am raising money to purchase a bus to continue this Cosmic Nobodies tour, make my way to Arizona so we can start building groundbreaking things. And I just, being present for more of you guys that I see on the internet all the time. You guys be inviting me to your events and retreats and things that you guys got going on your building, and just purchasing this bus will make it easier for me to transport to you guys and see you guys more so in the physical, which is something that I really want to manifest in my reality. And what else? Sunday service is returning. Virgo Virgin Talk is returning this month, and Seize the Sun podcast is returning this month. So sunshine is sunshining this month. Oh, it's 9/19, y'all. That's my birthday. So that's what I got for y'all today. Again, y'all could, check me out on YouTube to view this full video from the beginning. I appreciate y'all on TikTok. TikTok, y'all be showing me all kinds of love. I don't know how to act over here on TikTok. I might come to Instagram and YouTube and act a little brand new. It's like, nah. But I appreciate y'all for showing me love. I appreciate y'all for showing up for yourselves, getting this recap. Hopefully you go through your journals, reach out if you need a reading, or I even do therapy sessions. If y'all just want to call me and just go over your charts, I do 99-minute sessions for $55. I will be more than glad to, communicate with you in that realm of things. And that's what I got for y'all. So reach out to a goddess. I do many, many things, and I would love to. Oh, yeah. 3/19 is the spring equinox. 3/19 at 11:09 p.m. is the spring equinox. That's where I will be releasing my new music project. I have a new alter ego Her name is Virgo Sunshine, and it's my license plate. Oh, that's your license plate number? Oh, that's fire. That's fire. 919 is a good number. But yes, my birthday adds up to 911. So I'm sure I was summoned here on this planet as I get into my past lives. I'm very heavily into it. My birthday adds up to 911, and I'm 11 life path number because 9 plus 1 plus 1 is 11. But yeah, so 319, which is 6 months before my birthday. Virgo will be completely on, my birthday is literally on the opposite side of 319 because my birthday is 919. And that's when I'll be putting out my music project. And I think it's by divine alignment that my name is Virgo Sunshine on this album. I'm doing my MF Doom thing. What Virgo Sunshine is to me right now, being present and thinking about this whole month of doing the music and the person that I've been making the music with, and just the different realizations and conversations and all the things that I've been going through with this person while, doing this, project and stuff like that. I would say this music project is a tie of the kind of music I made when I first started rapping as an adult. I've been rapping since I was like 3 years old, but like my adult self in college and high school, the music that I was making, the sounds that I was making at that time, in alignment with the knowledge that I have now and my spiritual awareness, my energetic awareness, and my throat chakra intentions. I'm very intentional with my throat chakra, especially when it comes to my lyrics. I do love to invoke. I am a Legua rule through and through, and I'm very intentional. So, just tying those two pieces of me together will bring to you guys Virgo Sunshine. And I do hope that you guys enjoy this music project just as much as I enjoyed making it. It really brought back out my inner young adult, and my inner teenager came out on this one. And you will hear a lot of music and movie references that are in alignment to what the younger me was watching and doing and saying, if you pay attention. So yeah, I'm really excited about that one. And I will be releasing it on Do the Knowledge Radio. I will be doing a sound party, and I'm pretty sure Pranoia Starseed and Virgo Virgin Sock will be following suit. And if you know any other platforms that you guys would like to see me on and see me talk about my music on, please feel free to reach out to me so that I can, get my voice out on these different platforms and communicate with people what's going on. I'm sure you'll see me on Zenergy podcast sometime this month. I always meet up with the brother at least once a month to talk cosmic energy. Shouts to him and Rod Hayes, and I don't want to butcher her name, but she knows who she is because I keep her voices in my head and her sounds to my heart. And that's what I got for y'all today. I love y'all. Keep your heart light as a feather. That is what's so important. Be intentional with how you create this month. As our placements, keep moving forward. Our personal placements will be moving in Pisces, towards the end of this month. And, that's going to create some things. And you know what? I'm going to get into that with the planetary forecast with y'all tomorrow. I'm going to go home to my kids. I got to go. I love y'all so much. Reach out if you need personal readings and all that fun stuff. Peace, y'all. Now, how do I get out of here?